Hi everyone. So I'm sure there's a lot of talk over what the best card game is to play during family or friend game nights. Some might say that Cards Against Humanity is the best card game, while others will probably argue and say that Uno takes the number one spot. However, in Mexican households, there pretty much is no argument because the number one card game that many will say is a game known as Loteria. And this is the cultural artifact that I will be talking about in my speech, and I will give a little bit of background context and its significance to me. So shockingly, this game did not come from Mexico. It actually originated from Italy, and people would use this as a sort of lottery card. They would place bets on it. The person who would win would take all the money home. It then made its way down to Spain, and then it finally landed in the hands of Mexican soldiers who would take these home and play with their families. Other times, these traveling fairs would come to small villages in Mexico, and they would have these cards just lying around, and people would just come and play them whenever they pleased. Unfortunately, because a lot of Mexican civilians did not know how to read and were illiterate, it was a lot harder for them to play or be a part of any other thing. But luckily, because these cards had bigger images, these people were able to play them as long as they would just associate the image that was on the smaller card or the riddle that was said with an image that was on their card. And this game was meant to be played by people who had a higher position. However, over time, just about anybody could play it. It didn't matter what position you had in society. This game is a lot similar to bingo, which is why it's also known as Mexican bingo, except instead of numbers, it's images, and you would have to cover the whole card to win. So there are about 16 images on one card, and because the game is based a lot on luck, people tend to choose the one that they think will bring them the most luck, especially when money is involved. And once every player has chosen their own card, the other 54 smaller cards are shuffled by the speaker, and they start calling them out one by one. They either say the riddle, and if people don't get it from the riddle, they say they see the actual image, and people start to place whatever it is they have on hand, whether it be pennies or rocks or quarters or cereal or beans or rice, on their little cards. So the reason why I find this so significant and meaningful is because, well, not because it's nostalgic, but also because it's extremely inclusive. You don't have to be a certain age to be able to play this game. You can be the youngest person in the room or the oldest person in the room, and you'll still be invited to play it. Additionally, I just think that it has become such a big staple in Mexican culture and Mexican households. People have used this as a way to express, their own identities. People have even created their own loteria cards, whatever represents them, and they just make their own. And I think that's just so beautiful and so important. People have these tattooed on their bodies, people have these on shirts, there's even merchandise on this game, and it's just the fact that it has brought so much happiness and just joy with everybody is something that I find so important. My family still plays this game every Sunday during our family barbecues, and even if we end up losing the cards, we still manage to buy more at the store whenever we get the chance. It is just a great game to play, to bring families together, family and friends, and it's just a good thing to play it, to pass time, and just to bond. Thank you for listening.